Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 28th episode of the Gentleman's Gank podcast. I am Jonathan.
I'm laughing at Jonathan.
I'm just sitting over here and looking at Jonathan.
What?
I can't see Jonathan, but I'd be staring at him quizzically if I could.
Quizzically, good word, I guess.
You're not looking at me, stalker. You're not in this room. My doors are closed.
So, topics.
Nope.
I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for one of the most influential animators of the internet.
I don't
passing
know that I
away
can
this
give you
past
that.
Sunday. On February 1st, Monty Ohm of Rooster Teeth passed away at the age of 33 due to a allergic reaction sending him into a coma during surgery.
Sucks, man. Because,
Yeah.
I haven't seen I'm not a big Rooster Teeth guy. But I did used to watch Ruby a bit. And he
Everyone's seen Haloid. That was Monty.
He did
I think that was
Haloid?
his first work, actually. Yeah, he
No.
did Haloid. Yeah,
It
he
was.
did Haloid.
He did
He also
Haloid.
did Dead Fantasy.
Man. From what I heard about him, he was the kind of guy that, like, you pitched an idea to him that sounded somewhat good, and he was like, dude, that's awesome. Go for it. You can do it. And, like, it really, like, brought a lot of animators to do stuff they didn't think they were going to do.
Yeah, he's been a driving force for a lot of the animators that you see today, like Ego Raptor, and Rubber Ross.
Oh, yeah. I know they both love him.
Yeah, they're both really good. Were really good friends of his, and I remember Aaron posted a message on his Tumblr about his experience with Monty and how he told Monty about this one crazy idea of his after Monty had told him all about Ruby before Ruby wasn't even a thing, and how Aaron was blown back by just how crazy and ambitious this idea was, and it happened. He made it happen. That is the biggest thing about Monty is he does things. He does not sit down. He sits down and does work for hours upon hours just because he wants to. He loves to. He loves to be creative with anything he does. Like, he would constantly be looking at two monitors, one for him to be animating and another to be watching something, because he loved to consume things. He would watch podcasts and anime and all sorts of animations all over the internet. He would build things. He built himself some mechanical wings because he got bored and wanted to have fun. And everything he did was just driven. He was always trying to cut back at time. He would take keys out of his keyboard just because he didn't want to bump into them.
I heard about that, and that's pretty awesome.
Like, the guys at Rooster Teeth had just bought him a new computer. They hadn't bought anyone else in the office a new computer, but they bought him a new computer. And the first thing he does is he tears out keys from it because he said to them, I don't need these keys. They will be nothing more than a hindrance to me.
Yeah, that's just so, like, badass.
Like, there was another thing about how he would find ways to stay efficient about time is he would press 55 instead of 100 on the microwave, because he would have to press only one button and he'd only have to press it twice instead of having to press 3 buttons.
That's actually kind of great.
And
Man.
he was always on top of people about making them about how they need to continue and push for what they're trying to do. Like, as I said, Aaron posted something, and when after about 2 years later, Monty has remembered everything about what Aaron had told him about this crazy idea of his, and asking if he had made any progress on it. And Aaron was blown back just because of how, like, Monty wasn't just a machine that was just putting out stuff. He wasn't just some conveyor belt of creativity. He was a person, and he cared about people. Like, he was an incredible person for that.
The world lost a good person. But, with how much he's done to help people continue doing animating and such, I think his legacy kind of, continues on with us, with a lot of people.
The one thing he would always tell people is keep moving forward. And while there's always a time to mourn for him. We also have to keep moving, and that would be what would be honorable to him.
Hmm.
It's hard to pick up the pace after that.
Yeah, you should have ended on that.
Yeah, I should have.
Now I'm a sad drunk.
There was
That's not
no one
cool.
talking.
You knew you would be the only one adding to this conversation.
Hey, I added to it.
Dominic did. He did try.
Yes, but he added to the conversation you started.
Yeah.
You're the only one bringing anything to this table today.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we could talk about some more depressing news, like the whole
No.
League of Legends tournament thing.
Oh, well, that one's at least
I haven't heard about that. What's
interesting.
going on?
So in a I forget what the oceanic country, one of the oceanic countries over in Asia, has put a limit during this female-only tournament on lesbian and transgender participants, saying that these participants must state before the tournament their status, and then are only capable of participating for one game before having to be substituted in for another member of their team.
Can you remind us what the reason is that they are not allowed to participate in war?
Because apparently it's an unfair advantage.
Never before have I seen somewhere that this says, "Oh, you're a lesbian." That gives you an unfair advantage.
Except you forget
Okay, then.
Except you forget this is League of Legends, where they do their best to balance the players out.
Which is silly.
Transgender OP, please nerf.
Riot, please. Ugh.
It's bizarre.
To be fair, this isn't run by Riot. This is run by the place it's in.
Yeah, this is. But the issue is that if one changes their status within the next year on this subject, they will not only be charged with cheating during the tournament, but also be put on a temporary ban.
So, this isn't. All right. First off, this is very much their fault for considering lesbians and transgenders to be unfair. That doesn't make any sense. But also, maybe this is what happens when you put a
Separate the
gender requirement on a video game.
Oh yeah.
Like, I somewhat understand it for sports, although like that's becoming more and more unnecessary. But for video game sports, where literally anyone is just as good as anyone else, or can be as good as anyone else, why do you need that? Why did you have to do that? It's silly.
It really is.
It really is. There's nothing to be said here.
At that point, you're just existing solely in order to like make other people look at you and be like, let's not ever care about them.
Yeah.
Because that's stupid. That's just gonna like alienate a large group of people that aren't playing video games as much, but we want them to play video games. Good job, Riot. / whichever country that is. Thank you
Yeah.
for not knowing which country it is.
I'm sorry. I watched it earlier today and completely forgot.
It's probably Italy.
Probably not Italy. I don't think that's an oceanic country.
Shh. Shh. I'm saying this to rile you up, Dominic.
Uh-huh. Right. Is it working?
Is it
Does
working?
it feel like it's working?
It should be.
Should be, but isn't.
In other news, Take-Two confirms a new IP is in the works, with sales figures finally coming in for this Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS4 and Xbox One, counting up to 10 million sales for the new generation of gaming consoles, putting that up to 45 million copies sold.
Wow.
As expected, a new NBA and WWE 2K games are on the way, but Take-Two also promises groundbreaking new intellectual properties. It was also confirmed that the new Borderlands game that Gearbox is recruiting for will be exclusive to the new gen consoles.
Meh.
You're just upset because you won't be able to play the new. Well, not really. They are re-releasing Borderlands also to the new gen consoles.
I don't care about that. I just want to be able to play it on a computer.
Ah, that's true.
Because
They'll no doubt release it for the PC because that's just the easiest way for online gaming these days.
yeah, and like, it's a shooting game. It works beautifully on a PC.
Though I'll probably buy it on console just because my PC can't handle it.
See, I'll buy it on PC because I want to learn how to aim myself instead of having a machine do it for me.
Damn!
I'm sorry. Did I? Oh, apologies.
Not all of us play with the assisted scoping.
Pierre. Pierre, be honest.
I don't. I really
Be
don't.
honest. You leave it on. You don't turn that off. That takes extra time for you. You
The only
leave
time
it
I
on
ever
the
leave
same
it
as...
on is for GTA because otherwise that shit sucks.
That shit sacks. Really.
Sorry, I was in the middle of a sneeze and it went away.
Tell us more. See?
But good games.
Even
I'm
in my
hoping-
state, I can give you hell.
Excuse me. I was talking.
I don't care. Also,
Jonathan
they
has
hear
never
me
cared.
better.
Plus, he's too drunk to care at the moment.
You'd care if Tim was talking.
No.
Hence
Why? It'd be a
nobody
rare
cares.
occurrence.
See? No, Nick, you don't care either.
How about being able to access anything and everything that's personal via a computer chip in your arm?
No, thank you.
Well, that's what some companies are looking to do, whether or not you like the idea or not. Companies believe that implanting microchips into their employees will create better security for security firms, as well as to keep information more tied down. It would also eliminate any form of badges or name tags or stuff like that, because you'll never have to really worry about that. You can most likely stick with a universal chip in your arm that you could then carry on to another company that they just program the doors to open for your chip.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
so
There's a company
secure.
in Sweden that wants to use those chips to as the way to access the copier.
Of all things.
Of all
Yeah. And probably some other stuff too, but that's just the part I saw.
Wow.
I like how that was the most important part. The problem is this raises a lot of questioning on whether or not A, the morality of this, and B, whether this should be secured, and how much more dangerous it would be to have this kind of stuff stolen from you.
I mean,
Imagine having someone come at you with a knife just to cut out a computer chip in your arm.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly why I would rather people not have the ability to cut my arm off in order to gain my information.
I don't think they're looking to cut your arm off, just cut your arm open.
or just shoot you and drag your arm over to whatever door they need opening.
They could have done that with the,
I mean, it doesn't
It-
change anything for security guards.
It's the same concept as like taking someone's eye out for use as a retinal scan.
Yeah.
Except your iris changes after you die.
Yes, but I meant as far as movies go, because
Oh yeah.
I don't think we actually do retinal scans that way.
Also, it changes not immediately, so I would still
So
be
you
able
put
to,
that on ice and then bring it over somewhere.
or more
You have a couple
specifically,
seconds before it takes, maybe
Yeah.
a couple minutes.
so essentially, you walk up to a security guard says, no, you cut out their eye, you kill them, you cut out their eye, and you hold it up to the door that's right there, and get through.
Why don't you just, instead of cutting it out of their head, just hold their head up?
Well, I mean, that's unnecessarily not gross.
Unnecessarily not gross. You heard it here first.
I can't argue with that, but okay.
That's right. Don't argue with me. Don't test me.
On other very questionable news, Nintendo is now start up their affiliate program. Well, and now it's their affiliate program and how it's going to work. And most YouTubers are up in arms over this. Between that of PewDiePie, Rooster Teeth,
PewDiePie?
and plenty of others. Jimquisition. Pretty much the entire internet is in an absolute outrage over this plan, where pretty much Nintendo will be taking half of the revenue that would be guaranteed to the creator, which is after the part YouTube usually takes out of it. They're going to take half of it. But that's not all. They also have to... Nintendo has to pre-screen the video feed beforehand, and then it can take up to a month before you will receive your part of the budget. Your pay in this.
So basically that means that you're getting, instead of a little bit more than a half of what you'd be getting, I think it was 55% that you
I think it was the
originally
other way
getting.
around. I think YouTube took 55%. And no,
No,
you're right.
yeah,
No, you're right.
yeah,
You're right.
no.
It's 55%.
See,
Take
instead of
about-
getting
they would take-
55%, you'd be getting 33%, which is redonkulous.
Yeah.
Also, you have to basically review their games. You have to pay Nintendo, and Nintendo has to affirm that they want this game to be reviewed by you and in this manner.
Yeah. So pretty much you're playing under their rules, which isn't the first time Nintendo's tried to pull this, but it's the first time it's ever been this shitty.
Yeah. And it's the first time they've gotten this far with it, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's silly, because, like, you've created a game. You're already getting money from people buying the game. When someone makes a Let's Play of it, you shouldn't be getting any of the money from that. There's no reason to.
This is what happens when you have an openly traded company like Nintendo being pushed around like this. Unfortunately, Nintendo being a entirely game-driven company, unlike Sony and Microsoft, while they are still openly traded, that's only a part of their field of sales. Nintendo, it's their main form of sales, and a lot of investors may see it beneficial to try and take the money that they would make, the revenue they could make via YouTube, to gain that.
Well, then they should make their own YouTube channel.
They did.
They do.
Called Nintendo.
Yeah, well, maybe they should post their own Let's Plays on there.
That they should. Except I think that qualifies as a game trailer, technically.
Not if it has their commentary on it.
That's true. I guess you make a point there.
Yeah, you can
But
do
yeah,
a
it's still
dev
pretty
playthrough.
shitty all the way around for Nintendo to be doing this. And this is coming from someone who's been a big Nintendo fan for quite a while.
Hmm.
You know what? Nintendo really needs to go back into their other businesses to hold up their game and
Card games?
love hotels.
I was
Oh,
just
Love Hotels,
working
yeah.
with the Yakuza.
Oh, well, I mean, they're still doing that. So,
Shh. You can't prove that.
yes, but they also can't hurt me here. Fingers crossed.
You forget. Nintendo has their hands in YouTube.
Yes.
That's gross sounding. I would prefer you not say it like that.
Move on, please.
Anyway, I could speak a little bit more on Nintendo and my experience with the new Nintendo 3DS, having actually had a chance to try it out. GameStop has a lot of the demos now out for the new Nintendo 3DS, and I decided to swing by there today and pick one up for the first time. And the face tracking works. It is unbelievable. Like, I tried some serious adjustments to try and throw it off. It really does keep up with you. Like, they really dedicated some level of memory, extra memory, just to the 3D, just so it would stay 3D'd on. Like, I didn't lose it at all, except for one brief moment. But that's because I went past, like, 70 degrees of where I was originally positioned. and not. I like the C stick. It's not as overly responsive as I was afraid it was going to be, having been used to that little red nub that they had on laptop keyboards. You know which ones I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, the nipple.
Yeah, the nipple. And how that was always seemed to respond very poorly and overly responsive.
Terribly. Yeah. No one liked using them.
Except
I
for
did.
like the most bizarre people in the world.
That's fair.
I can't exactly say those people were actually people. I can't guarantee they were human. But it was actually a lot
Ouch.
slower of a response, which made it a lot more comfortable. It took a little bit more effort to get it to do what I wanted, but once I got the camera angle right, I was completely content. I was testing out with the. They had a demo of the new Majora's Mask 3D, and I did the first boss fight in the game, the one with Edwala, and it was actually. I liked being able to adjust the camera because there were times where I couldn't see what I was doing with the camera angle I was working with, or the enemies around me. So I would just adjust it enough, and it would just adjust just to the right angle. So I was having a bit more of a top-down view of my situation because I had a bunch of spiders coming around me and such.
I believe that's technically the second boss battle.
No,
It's the
swamp.
yes.
Swamp temple.
Yes, but I believe technically there are quote-unquote mini-bosses before them that actually are bosses.
Oh, that doesn't count in my book.
Yeah, it does. When they have their
If
own
it doesn't have a
boss...
boss title, it doesn't count.
Don't make me go back through Nintendo history and pull out all of the bosses that didn't have boss.
I think he's talking about in that particular game, though.
In that particular game, there was 4 bosses: Edawal, Goat,
It's
And
Odwalla.
Pierre, shut up.
Georg,
Yes,
and-
Oh yeah,
Georg.
Georg!
and Twin Rova.
I like any character whose name is Georg.
Also,
Georg.
what about Majora?
And I will name him
Majora was technically the last set of bosses.
Also,
which was
technically
final
the
boss. It's
first.
kind of like Ganondorf. You don't count him with all the other 8 bosses you had to get to him. He's the
You
final
don't
boss.
count him as a boss. You count him as the boss.
Exactly.
Skull Kid was the first boss.
Skull Kid, you didn't actually fight.
Yes, you did.
You shot a single bubble at him and stole the ocarina from him. You didn't even get a boss title.
Yes, he did.
What was his boss title? Was
Ma-
it Skull Kid?
Majora?
The kid?
No, that was later on. You didn't actually play this one, that's right.
No, I did. I played the heck out of this game.
You're remembering incorrectly.
Lies. I played this multiple times. This
As
was
did
my
I.
game as a child. Dude, I played so much Ocarina of Time, and then I was like, oh wait, there's Majora's Mask. And then I picked up Majora's Mask, and it scared the crap out of me. So I didn't play it again for like a year, and then I picked it up again, and I was like, whoa, this is creepy as heck. Also, amazing. And then I played it for like 100 times.
When I was a kid,
True story.
and even still now, I don't play a lot of like scary games, horror games, anything of the sort. However, there was this one particular game I would always play at like Target or Walmart or whatever, and it's one of those games that you would only play it if you enjoyed it, because otherwise you're getting neck pains for no reason. And it's the only game I've ever played that was creepy or weird, but for some reason I kept wanting to play more of it, and that's what it was, is Majora's Mask, because, man, that game, I don't know what it was, but even as a kid I was like, I want more of this? That was it. You guys can talk now.
I'm completely agreeing with you on that.
So, for the record,
Yep.
viewers, this means that Dominic definitely wants Five Nights at Freddy's. So, if anyone you feel like gifting that to him on Steam,
But anyway, it feels, the new 3DS feels good. It was the XL actually feels a lot lighter than the original 3DS, as well as it feels a lot thinner. I might actually, instead of waiting it out for them to release the regular size one, just get the XL. It feels right. They really tried with this one.
Does it fit in your pants?
It could. It's thin enough. It's probably as thin as an iPhone.
Well, then I guess
Uh,
it's best not waiting for the regular since it's not coming to America.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can dream, Harold.
Well, to be fair, they said they had no plans for the new 3DS to come to America at all as of, November? So, it may just be somewhere down the pipe we
plans.
can't see yet.
No plans. That doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. It's just there's not any plans at the moment.
That was for the new 3DS to come to America. They specifically said,
Yeah. So that's from no plans to actual import in, 3 months?
yes, but they also specifically said, we are not sending the standard size to the United
I still
States.
want that article to see which one what you're talking about.
Look it up
I don't
on
believe it.
Game Sutra. It's like the Kama Sutra, except far less fun.
I don't know. If it has to do with video games, it can't be that bad.
Some people would disagree.
I don't know, there's a lot of yoga stuff in there that's really helpful. That I really wouldn't know because I've actually never read it. I'm just making all of this up.
I like how vague that was. There's a lot of yoga stuff in there that's really helpful. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm making all of this up.
Yes, you are.
It was like that word on the street interview. So what did you like about MLK's speech this past weekend in 2015? Oh, I liked all of the, details and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the people who just try to sound smart, so they just like say it vaguely, and you're like, what was your favorite quote by him? And they're like, oh, always do what's in front of you. I like that part. You're just like, good. I'm glad.
So dudes, we're running out of time.
I really am out of pretty much subjects. So,
Cool.
I mean, we could talk about hacking faces.
Like with a machete.
No, more of
Then
like.
I don't want to know.
People have been doing that for years now. Is this where you plug a USB drive into someone's ear and take control of their face?
More of it rewrites the appearance of one's face. Yes, now you can go from hacking your computer, from hacking your TV, from hacking your microwave, to now hacking your face.
How do you hack a microwave?
Well, I was actually meaning to say toaster oven, because you can apparently turn a toaster oven into a controller. Most toaster ovens have USBs inside of them.
And also to answer your question, you can hack anything with an Arduino circuit attached. And with the number of smart houses hitting the market, that's relatively easy.
You know, the Internet of Things is actually a thing. People can hack the internet.
But that's the easy subject. Haven't you watched anyone play Watch Dogs yet?
No.
Everyone wants to hack
No.
everything.
Do you ever see that the like gif of a guy going around like what was it? Like a Staples and hacking everything,
I
including like
love that
the
GIF.
printer.
Yes.
I love that GIF.
That's a good one.
That is such a good one. But
Watch
yes,
Dogs, where you win the game by hacking the bombs on policemen's belts.
That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time. This has been Jonathan.
this has been Pierre watching Jonathan fall asleep.
This has been Dominic realizing Jonathan has certainly crashed.
This has been Tim. Has been. Is not anymore.
Bye.
That was like philosophical, and I'm not sure what to do with my life. Bye.
Bye.
See you.